Testing 1 2 1 2. All right. Hello to all my precious souls out there. Welcome to Positive Thrive Podcast with Sunshine. That's right. I am your host, Sunshine Eileen Davey. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually just sitting right here, right in front of the mic here right now. And I felt like I've been to many different places in just such a short time. At times, like you just feel that we are all travelers, truly travelers and passengers of life. Because every single moment, every single milliseconds, milliminutes, we are traveling our soul, continuously exploring and traveling to different places, knowing different people. And it's such a privilege for me to be here right now, to be owning up and taking this ownership of my own rights upon my creativity, upon my God-given gift. I must say that, I could not have done that without the divine. So that I owe that to that before I began all this itself is just truly regards to seek the divine grace and blessings before I began my chapter, episode 1 of Positive Thrive Podcast with Sunshine. So, yes, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sunshine Eileen Davey, and yes, if you are wondering, is Sunshine your real name? I get that all the time. You have no idea. Like, there were many times that I have to prove myself just by holding my identity card in my hand and just showing it to prove a point that Sunshine was my given name. And with that, I would say that I extend my gratitude to my all loving parents, and most of all to my mom, because she was the one who came up with the idea of this beautiful name Sunshine, one by my dad with Davey. My mom named me Sunshine Eileen. So yes, credentials to both of them. Won't disregard that without any retaliation. So yes, Sunshine, it's my given name. And it's important for us to recognize our identity. It took me a long time, I would say pretty much, I'm not shy to mention my name. I love my age right now because I felt like I have more wisdom. I'm going to spill it out here right now. I am proudly a 36 years old, mid-tanned woman, yes, who been through identity crisis previously. I mean, it took me many hurdles and took me many obstacles and encounters in order for me to be here right now, to have this courage and bravery to be right in front to speak, in regards that part of my occupation as a professional master of ceremony on TV host as well. I could just speak right in front of TV, but those were all prepped up contents. But here, as much I was prepping myself, and I told myself I just want to be authentically myself. Just be me, be Sunshine. And there was this voice uttering back my head, say, Sunshine, release those anxieties. It's time for you to be here to speak your authenticity and to express to the world out there if there's darkness that is light here right now. And allow me to be that sunshine to each and every one of your lives that you're tuning into my podcast here. And why did it take me such a long time to finally express myself? I guess a lot of us are living in fear, right? So with that fear too, I was feared to know myself better. But when I learned to address and know myself better, and that's where I realized that podcast, it's the place where I need to be. And I finally took a big leap of faith for me to be a solo independent podcaster, right? So to those who might not know me in the field here, allow me to introduce myself. I have been in the entertainment field for close to 22 years of my life, pretty much half my life or quarter of my life. So yes, it has been an incredible journey. I would say that just being in arts and entertainment, it's in front of screens and in front of crowds, it would not shamble me and shake me as much as my life experiences. But throughout all that life experiences, why I pick thrive. And why I pick positive? Because everywhere that I go and everyone say like, Sunshine, first, is that your real name? I say, yes, Sunshine. Okay, that speaks out your personality. And a lot of them say that, Sunshine, you are a burst of sunshine. You're a burst full of positivity. And yes, and regardless, no matter what I have endured in my life, I might not show in front of the screens. I might always laugh, but out to laughter. So in front of my friends, they are my family. They may not know what I've been through. And yet I always have a smile. And yet I never fail to fill it up with laughter and joy in my life. And continue not just to survive. There's two different things about survive and thrive, right? So a lot of people kind of like misunderstood the whole entire, I would say, diagram about what? Survive and thrive. So being able for us to survive, obviously still a gift, like, okay, we're all survivors of life for sure. But once you learn to recognize that the fact that life is not all about surviving, right? Life is about thriving through those path of your chapters that have finally turned you to a warrior. So a warrior thrives, right? But there you go, a beggar survives. So there's a difference over there. If you see on the streets that people are daily begging of their lives, we used to beg for our life, or we continuously still do it. But is that a choice for you to choose that you want to be a beggar, to beg to just survive, or you want to be a warrior just to continue to thrive in life, and knowing that all the circumstances that we have been through in life yet is just a task for us to get through to another phase of dimension where it has opened up those portals for you to step into your higher self. So a lot of us, perhaps before that, I know that I was vibrating. I was definitely channeling in the third dimension where I yet to explore myself yet. And everything that I do, it was still very unconscious. But here I am, when I'm speaking with you, I know that I am very divine, consciously guided over here for me to speak out what I have been holding back throughout those years. And I felt like this is going to definitely be an open book journey, yes. And definitely an open book journal. Not just a journey, but a journal. I love journaling since when I was younger, and ever since that it was known as diary. So it's not that far, diary and journals, right? So yes, I really felt like now my life is going to be an open book journal where I'm going to share everything here back on the podcast, right? So as I say that, if you might not know me, in the 22 years of my field, it all started at the age of 14. I would say not just 14. I've been on stage since young. I have been like the most beautiful baby in Ipoh back then. I won twice for most beautiful baby. And my mom was like, okay, I was told by for them to not bring me the third time because I continuously winning. And yes, when I was young itself, my mom had the privilege, was sponsored by a lot of beauty baby products, and that was the privilege itself. And apart from that, I still remember this very, very funny occasion when I was younger. My mom didn't need to train us. All she needed to do is play on the music. And guess what? The first music that I was dancing to, and the first persona and identity was I adapting to and attuning to, it was Madonna. And the music was like a virgin, ooh, touch for the very first time, like a virgin. The songs keep ringing back in my head right now. And my mom, she is such a good sower, all right? She has been a very multi-talented woman, multifaceted woman, I would say multi-dimensional woman. She grew up taking care of me and my two other siblings. And I still remember that baby contest itself, right? All me and my two other siblings, she stitched our wardrobe. And I have this really beautiful, red ruffles, kind of like a half shoulder, red ruffles top. And at the same time, it was kind of like, it looks like a beanie. So it was like all red right now. And I was like, there you go, sunshine. And I have this really flare, beautiful kang skirt, it's like really beautiful to stitch for her. I hope I can forget that picture back if I ask my mom. If no, means I'm just sharing you what vividly I remember. And I was just there being on stage. And I did what I got to do when the music was playing over there. And I came out itself being that persona that I wanted to just shine like a star. And there you go. I won for the first time, and I won for the second time, for the following year. And the third time, my mom was warned not to bring me on stage again there, because apparently they needed to give opportunities to the other beauty babies that come and participate over there. So that was what's the first few, I would say, that experiences I remember. And since young, I have been on stage. So meaning my mom always said that who wants to win gifts? And I'm the kind of person, one of my love language was giving gifts and receiving gifts. Don't you? I love it. That's why I love Christmas. I love wrapping Christmas gifts and also receiving gifts as well, right? So who does not? So back to that, where it was. I still remember my mom would always tell me, like, I love Lego. There's competitions here. I used to take up arts class. I used to draw. And with that, like, okay, Lego, they were having this contest. And still remember I make it top 50s and won Lego shirts and like literally the merchandise. And it was a drawing contest. I need to sketch out what Lego picture was it, and I still participate. I just like, okay, mommy, enroll me. I want to do this right now. And I did it. And there you go. I make it top 50s. And amazing. I won this merchandise. And not just that. And since in my primary school, I still remember that fact, I have always been on stage. Like, my mom trained us very well on stage, So I guess like one of the reasons when you place me on stage, I don't get stage fright, which a lot of people suffer from stage fright. And due to the paramount of occasions of me being present myself in front of crowd, and I love the crowd. Yes, I love the attention, but for the right attention. So what's wrong for us to inspire others with the right intention, right? And the intention. So my intentions was always being up on the stage to win it and to be making it proudly as a proud daughter for my mom. I want to impress her. I want to impress my dad. I wanted to impress my friends around me, that kind of stuff. But it was not like impressing them out of ego or out of pride. It was impressing them like, hey, I can do this. I have confidence. So since young, like you name it, from storytelling competitions to, Pusidra Sharahan, to singing competitions, anything got to be on stage yourself, even like chorus speaking, even like choir, even like debate, team, I was in a lot of clubs back then when I was way younger, back in my primary school and also my secondary school. So there you go, you name it. And touch with God is good. I would say that my mom trained us really hard. We never failed to rehearse like a day, close to 5-6 times. Like in between, we'd take gaps, and then every single day before the competitions itself. And we used to train so hard at the fact that there you go. And I always say you reap what you sow, right? God always say that, you reap what you sow. And the terms of reap what you sow, it is the truth. It benefits you. So with all those like practices makes you perfect. I have finally managed to be in perfection for my storytelling. I remember every single thing in our playing character, and how amazing that my mom would just create all those props, you name it, and she would just stitch it with a sewer, and she would just stitch everything, and she would turn it into reality from something that is just a fiction to reality. And there you go. And I will just bring out the character. And amazing that I still remember when we were in a storytelling contest, and I still have to recite this horror story. It was known as the Harry Toe. So my mom actually created this prop. Wow, literally a Harry Toe. And I still remember she had it on hair and sprinkled some hair on top of the Harry Toe out of a clay. She turned that. And it was amazing how the creativity that she brought it back to life. And literally, I would talk about the Harry Toe. In the end of the day, I bring it out, the Harry Toe, and I found a Harry Toe. It'd be like, where is my Harry Toe? who took my heritage? And that would be this monster, because he's looking around for his heritage, and like literally one of the humans have confiscated his heritage or stole his heritage. So he is this monster just being kind and just asking back that why he's haunting them. It's not because that he wants to. He wanted to haunt them because someone took his toll away. It was been stolen by him, right? So I still remember this persona lit it up like I have inherited this story, and then my both brothers have also said the same thing, and we won it. We won. We got first place itself. It was great, and amazing. From school level itself, then I started advancing to state level as a storyteller, as a professional storyteller. And I still remember this other Wang Ulang, right? Pak Ulang, yeah. Pak Ulang or Wang Ulang? Wang Ulang is a fat and jolly man. So it's just amazing how we bring that character again, because like there you go. A part of me being as a podcaster here is all about storytelling as well. I guess like all humans has a story. And my mom actually has opened up those portals and doors since we were young, and I did not realize that until this very day that I was sitting down and I was really thinking that, oh wow, how can I start my podcast and what can I say? It's just that, yeah, I love talking, but there are times that when it comes to be myself here right now, I don't want to be too vain. And I was this like little voice again, this little angel telling me like, Sunshine, strip that out. This is you. Why are you shy about being you and just being afraid about sharing your stories? And perhaps it can inspire others there itself. How can they be like Sunshine? Or how can they speak confidently like Sunshine? Or how can they act like Sunshine? Or perhaps like if you don't need to be like Sunshine, just be a Sunshine to yourself, right? So then I realized that, wow, all these practices since young, my mom has trained me and my siblings. And I realized that my mom was so sweet. I remember she took this old pillow, right? And she cut it to pieces and she started filling it up with more cottons, because like there was Wang Ulang. He is a fat and jolly man. So he is this fisherman, but he's a fat and jolly man. Regardlessly what he has, he would not compare. So that story was a very inspiring story. As you remember that, the fact that I have to dress up like Wang Ulang. So my mom literally took this old pillow, she stitches it up with threads all around, and she put in more cottons itself. And let me just tell you, that it was just so compact that the fact that I really looked like a fat old man. And I was like literally tied all around. She created that with her own creativity. I simply love how my mom's mind worked, right? And then after that, she started creating those beard with cottons itself. It was really soft and moist, from where he was young and he turned old, and it has an old hat. And there he goes and speaks and talks itself. Imagine me representing state level right on my school right now, right? And I'm standing on stage there right now and just being different from others because everyone came without props. I was the one who dressed up and being character. And that really caught the attention of all the teachers over there, right? The judges, they were like, whoa, who's this contestant? Where is she from? Oh, wow, she's Sunshine. Okay, great. She's from Kapong. Wow, she's here to just deliver herself. Okay, just bring your A game on. And I did. I was not shy, even dressing up as an old man there itself, but yet I brought it to the stage and I deliver every single thing of what I have recite and rehearsed from my all-loving mom had trained us so well, and I just brought it there. And finally, guess what? We won for state level. So I not just make myself proud, but yes, I make my family proud too, and I make my school proud. So I brought my school to a next level itself, right? So there you go. So goes to Pusita Science. So apart from being an art student as well, as you remember, in Malay, my Malay was quite good. Why? If you wonder why my Malay was quite good, actually come think about it, yes, I used to be on stage delivering Syarahan. So yes, I will recite and remember every single words again. There you go. That's where my mom always would bring us back on stage right now. Then I'll just bring out salam sejahtera, apa khabar semua, bersama dengan saya, Sunshine, and deliver what I need to. Okay, hari ni kita akan memperkasahkan wanita yang kejaya. That kind of stuff. So it just come out very spontaneously to me. And it has never not, I would say, that make me feel outcast of others, even and regardlessly people say like, oh, Sunshine, you can really speak well, even though like I can do a few mistakes, but yet I will always come back with a humor. And it's apart from humor, it's just like, it's a part of shading off like those mistakes and just kind of camouflage it, everything, and just be confident. I guess like confident is the best key of success, and then confidence is your best makeup. You don't need to put a paramount of makeup, but there you go, your confidence overshadow everything. So I started realizing that, this is where it all started. I have always been a storyteller since young. I was always been a great achiever since young. And I always win a lot of trophies since young. And I started singing too since when I was younger. I was in a choir, in church for my school choir. And I was like a soprano, to the Dixon, which is the higher tone, And I still remember we used to sing songs in Mandarin and English as well. So this is one of the songs that we sing back in choir. It's like, let me just sing it out. It's called 就是我。就是我呐，就是我。纵然我说是点一针多. I hope I got those words right. I remember it's 就是我. So it's 就是我 means it's about me. Actually, it's kind of like more gospel songs, but surprisingly, like it really caught hold of my attention. And I still remember the songs that we sang back then in choir was like Down the Via Rosa. So it goes like this, just one stretch I was sing. Down the Via Dolorosa, so la la la. I would definitely sing the whole songs in the next episode. Yeah. Okay, great. Until I remember that. It's just all this. I'm having this recap right now since my childhood. And I realized my house was literally filled with the abundance of trophies, of certificates. And it was, a lot of achievements. And I have been an achiever and a scholar since young. And I forgot about all that about myself, right? So with all that, it have also trained me to be in the arts and entertainment field, how expressive I can be, especially when it comes to acting. You need to be more, you need to develop your character. You need to grant your expressions and you need to turn your expressions in order for you to truly be in the role play that you have been given. So it's also part of role playing a lot too, you see. So since young, my mom has trained me and my brothers a lot. So she was a great teacher, I must say that. My mom has always been a great teacher since when I was younger. And yes, and a lot of people say that I always see your mom, I don't see your dad. Yes, my parents are separated, but yes, they are still in talking terms. I will definitely talk about it in next episodes, but this episode, I want to focus more on myself and want to let you know who is Sunshine and how she have developed this confidence. And it did not start overnight and Rome was not built a day. It started since when I was a toddler. Yeah, started since when I was already 3 or 4 years old. Since then, I've been a performer, a true artist itself who knows how to encapsulate the craft and the art of, just expression, just like being expressive, being myself, being how my mom has trained us to be. So that is one of it. And yes, modeling since when I was since when I was 14. Yeah, I still remember it was just so random. Like there was this runway show and I didn't even have any. Let me just tell you, I did not have any experience of doing a runway. And still remember Amber Chia was the judge during that. Back then, it was back at Dynasty Hotel. And Dynasty Hotel was also flying in top 5 luxury hotel then. But now, I'm not sure what happened. But yes, I was told to do a ram walk in recycle outfits. And there you go. Guess who was my designer? There's no other person. It was my mother. My mother was a sewer right now, again, and she designed it beautifully. She was so gifted. I remember we never sleep for 3 days, 2 nights, and we were just doing all this craft, and she took out all these straws, and we have the logo, the recycle logo, and I still remember we have to patch all this recycle logo, and she trained me how to do it, how to be crafty just like her too. And she literally, can you believe it or not, she took the garbage bag and she turned it into a dress, and she turned it into a beautiful kang outfit, like a black outfit, right? Wow, so pretty. And a hat too, with all the recycles logo on top of it, stitched towards it. And she used it not just by sewing machine, she used it just by hand, stitching it with thread, needle and thread. That was how gifted my mom was as a sewer. And I was like, wow. Think about, this is great memories that all flashback right now. It gets me emotional at times. But yes, it's how it all began back then. And it was my first fashion show. My mom dressed me up, and I won't lie, I was very nervous back then. And of course, I was skinnier than where I was. I was like anorexic because I suffer from anorexic bulimia too. I was afraid at one point when I was young, people used to call me fatty, so I didn't like it. And I lost a lot of weight. Since when I was 14, I was like 38 kg, really scrawny like a scarecrow. So yes, privilege for me to be a model back then, right? So there you go. My mom dressed me up, and I still look very fine, okay? And I remember I competed in this fashion show, and I did my first ramp walk, and guess what? We won. We won. I still remember I won a Louis Arden watch, like a jewelry watch, and Louis Arden back then the brand was like prime time brand, right? And amazing, and we won some cash prizes and also certificates and trophies. Amazing. And there you go. It was always like me and my mom. We were always like the best team ever. Wow. Yeah. We were always the best team ever. Just remember this. And she was always there to groom me, to have the confidence. She was always there to groom me, to be just myself and to speak my truth in everything. Since young too, if we have ever lied, there you go. I can never turn my mom into a monster if I only lied. So I choose not to lie. And even though if I lied, it's obviously you can catch me because I don't look into her eyes. And she was like, you lied. And she started going all balloony, and she started caning us, right? She was allowed and tell us to speak our truth. And that's why this is where Positive Thrive, it's all about speaking my truth here right now and sharing how it all started for Sunshine and who is Sunshine. So that was my first runway. Okay, when I was 14. And apart from all that, 14 years old, I was also a basketball state player. Wow. Trust me, I was like more tomboyish than you can ever think of to be where I am right now. All ladylike, being in dress. No way, Jose. It's so hard for me even for the ramp, for where I was. I was literally a tomboy. Everyone knew me. I was always like short hair, spiking my hair up in my primaries. That's because I felt like, okay, I love basketball and was very active. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and start bouncing the ball, probably midnight itself. When my mom would literally came in and say, it's time to sleep right now. Yeah, so I have the privilege itself even not to go to my classes, and I got trained all the day, and teachers, my school was so good that my headmaster would send in my syllabus teachers to come to the house just to teach me. Example, if I miss my science class, example, if I miss my maths class, teachers would come to my house just to teach me for the subject, right? Yeah, because I represent playing state. And I was a defender, and I was number 15, there you go. And our school back then, like Xiaoming Xiaoxue, was like literally one of the top basketball school, okay? So yeah, we used to represent, we used to compete with Zhonghua, you name it, there's so many other schools, I can't remember right now. But yeah, we were the champions of basketball. And my first ever appearance in newspapers, in Mandarin newspapers, was literally being in a basketball team. Yeah, so bouncing the ball was balls, bouncing ball. And I was trained to be very disciplined because if you wonder why I can speak really good Mandarin, because I was in a Mandarin school. Yes, my mom enrolled me and my siblings into a Mandarin school. 6 years of intensive Mandarin studies, okay? Meaning when I say intensive, it's really intense, okay? I don't have time to play. I don't even have time to sleep. Okay, I don't even have time to mingle. My life was really orchestrated with timetable. My mom has a timetable every single day. I have to wake up in the morning looking back, hey, Sunshine, you had to wake up at 5 a.m. right now, you're going to get yourself. I was always independent since when I was younger. My mom has never spoiled rot, okay? Never. She have never spoiled me and my siblings ever. Maybe my both brothers, they're a bit spoiled because they got an elder sister. Lucky damn. But yes, I hope they won't be mad if I say that. But yes, it's true. Yeah. So, my mom, I train it so well. I have to wake up at 5, even during my weekends itself, and my whole day starts, okay? My boss will come by, my boss will pick me up, and then I'll head over to school. There you go, and I start bouncing those balls, and at times we have to be there at 6 a.m. I will start running around for 20 big rounds around the basketball court, okay? Our court was not an indoor court, it was an outdoor court, but it was a beautiful outdoor court out there. It was a court full of challenges, I would say. Challenges and trial and tribulations, because we trained really hard. I was really, I wouldn't say black, but I was burned back then. Yeah, sunburned, because we train under the hot sun itself. The scorching sun itself does not matter if it pierces into your skin right now. You don't get those balls in, pierce it in the hoops. There you go. You get the loops. My instructor, 侯老师, he was very firm. He has no smile on his face. Until you score something, until you win something, then he will smile with you. And then he will say, good, how? That's it. A man of few words. But yes, when you make the team proud, trust me, everyone loves you. But if you don't, that's it. You get caning. So what happens here, I still remember there was once I was just so lazy. And oh God, every day 20 times running that big court, it's like, oh God, I felt like my heart was like gonna skip a bit and I was gonna pause. And one moment I still remember that I just feel like collapsing. I was not that well, and perhaps maybe I was a bit lazy, but I was not that well, right? So I was running a few rounds. After the 5th round itself, I just stopped for a while. You know what? My instructor came and he holds his whistle. I do not know what his whistle is made of, but it was really painful. He used the whistle string and hit literally back of our calves. Oh my God, it was so freaking pain. Leaves a mark. So I still remember when I was younger back then, and I used to have blue black because of that. It's so painful, and it just like allows you to. So I work well with pain. I work well with aggressiveness since young, right? So there you go. It pushed me and I started running. I still remember I drank so much water and I puked after that, right? So there you go. Nothing came easy in my life. Nothing came easy to be who I am, Sunshine Island Davy, right? So everything, it's formulas that has been implanted since young. Everything that has been good seeds that has been planted in my garden to be where I am, to be where I can actually continuously bloom. So my mom always used to tell me, you want to be a flower that blooms, okay? You don't want to be a flower that dies. And I never really understand what she used to say about it all the time. So I have been so active in everything that I do, just like, being Sunshine, how she was, she was just very bubbly, she was active, she was competitive, very competitive. Very competitive. Yes. Yeah, even in my educations as well. So I was also a top student in my class itself. ACE, thanks to my mom, comprehensive. She was a teacher, again, a good teacher to us. She buy all the syllabus book, you name it. Saspadi, Waspadi, whatever, they want pustaka, and she would bring me there. She would buy everything, sit down right now, and she asked me to remember every single thing and start rehearsing and do it. All my syllabus was really good. My moral was really surprising good. I always get A in my moral. My science was good too. And my arts was really good as well. Only one thing that was weak in every subject was my maths. But it's slightly better than before right now. I'm better in my maths now compared than before, right? For the algebras. I rather go to the safari, you'll see a zebra. Okay? So yes, back to all where it was. This was all that has branded me, that has turned me to be where I am right now. And I have always missed my childhood. My childhood has been a very beautiful childhood, especially coming to this, what I've shared. But I will not share what it's the negative side. I'm sharing on the positive side that how I have thrived in my childhood to be where I am, okay? Apart from my childhood, my secondary itself, it was just definitely something out of where it grew. I never know that from an ugly duckling turned to a swan. I guess I was never an ugly duckling. That's just a thought so, because I was very tomboyish, you see. So the guys used to chill with me. They were like, yo, bro. They call me bro. Yes, because I have my short hair, right? And the way I talk to you was like a dude, the way I wear was like a dude, that kind of stuff. My mom said, I have 2 sons. Please do not be another dude. I born you to be a girl, so act like a girl. She used to cane me to be wearing dresses and skirts. And whatever dresses and skirt that she used to stitch for me, I still remember I hid it under my bed and she found everything and she was so mad because I lied. And she caned me for that too, for lying. You see? So what I meant is that a lot of people, especially my friends, my classmates or my schoolmates from my previous Chinese school who knew me, and they never see that Sunshine would turn out to be a top model or perhaps a beauty queen. It's definitely beyond their imaginations. Like, wait a minute, this girl was so tomboyish, this girl who is just like so robust, she's so firm, she's so bold, she would never definitely do something like that. It's impossible, for her to even put on lipstick, think twice, or put on some eyelashes like where I am right now. Poof, no way, Jose. I probably ran away a few miles itself and never come back again. That was me back then. But here I am right now. It's just the transition of life, right? So where I was back then, that young self, that mini Sunshine, that little Miss Sunshine, that was well-groomed, well-trained, well-taught by her mother. Her mother was definitely a definition of her role model. And I still remember that was one of the exams, like, who was your role model? And I wrote about my mom. Yes, I wrote about my mom as my role model. She inspired me so much, and I want to speak this out loud. I would not be where I am here today without her. Of course, without my dad too, but my mom played a very, very more important role in my life, right? She wore the pants too as a father when I was younger. So there you go. Explains it all. Why I have so much of daddy issues, okay? That we will save it for another episode, okay? Not here right now. So yes, to where it is, I step up, well-trained to be a good public speaker, to be a good storyteller since younger. And then I stepped in to be a good singer when I was younger too, in my primes. And then I was very active. I was a basketball player, and I was a state player. I win a lot of trophies, name it, a lot of, yes, my house has a lot of trophies, a lot of certificates, which I'm ever so grateful for that. Yeah, thank God. And thank you to my mom that have trained us so well, right? Since when we were young to now, okay? So with that all have also staged me to be where I am here today. So if anyone asks me like, hey, Sunshine, where do you get all this confidence? There you go. I owe it to God. I owe it to my mom itself for good trainings that I was given since I was younger. But it took me a lot of canes and a lot of hoops for me to score high to be where I am today. Okay, it was not just built yesterday, and a lot of investment too. My mom invested a lot in me when I was younger for me to even score better Mandarins than the Chinese itself, that I was even perhaps someone say that I actually, I was like the fitna la kono near la, okay? Someone say that I copied because like my Mandarin score higher than the Chinese, and they couldn't accept that. And I was in a streamline class, by the way. When you talk about streamline, means the smartest class in your school, which is like A or B, okay? The rest classes, they will call it like average, or the last one, they call it dungus, okay? But I don't want to call them, okay? For me, everyone is equal. Everyone has their own wittiness, their own smartness, their own intellectualism. So like, let's skip that. I'm not here to downgrade. I'm here to get everyone to thrive together. So yes, I was in a streamline class, and it was a lot of competition. And a lot of people's angry and jealous about me too. Comes to my schoolmates. So I suffered battle from a lot of jealousy since when I was younger, and then it steps into my secondary. And with secondary itself, certainly, as I say, the ugly duckling turned to swan, but I don't think so. I was ugly back then. I was always charming. People like me in my primary school. It's just that I refused to even engage to any love story or any 情情感情. Oh, forget about 爱情的字，我就是不要了哈，我不要接受的啦。尤其是感情的方面啊。So I will always tell myself, no, I don't want to be in this. Like I was really, really focused on my academic and co-curricular because this was my goals in life and achievements in my life. And as I say, I'm a very competitive soul. So I always want to score higher. I always want to thrive higher itself. And that has brought the best moments for me to be who I am here today itself. To have better self-control and discipline in my life. Yes, that owes to both my parents too, but my mom, yes, mostly. And yes, to bear where it is, to be where I am here right now. In my secondaries, my secondaries was amazing, okay? I would say that, I did not know when I was age of 14, suddenly the whole channel of life just, it has a different transmission right now. And here I am just tuning to myself being the most popular girl in the school. Like literally the most talked in town, most talked in school. Every guy just wants to date me. Every guy wants to talk about me. Every girl's jealous about me. That kind of stuff. I've been through a lot in my secondary school. Like especially comes to jealousy. Okay, I was in frame couple and I have to get out of it, and I got involved in relationships in a very young age too, since when I was 14 years old. I'll tell you more about that in the next episode. But here we are. I'm wanting to let you know that how it all begins, right? So there you go. I took up a lot of leadership role itself. I was in the PRS, Club Bimbingan Rakan Sebaya. I was the president of Club Bimbingan Rakan Sebaya, and I even have an office in my secondary school. And my teachers respect me so much over there, because like every students be coming over and telling me about their problems. I'll be a problem solver to them, but I can't solve my problem, especially when it comes to love, because I have such an empath. I'm such an empath, right? I feel for people, and I can really, really feel for them and be a healer. This is how my mom was always like, Hiyoka. Hiyoka is the highest level of empath, and I got it from her. I possessed that from her, you see? So I did not recognize all that until now, when I have more self-conscious and self-realization. And a lot of self-reflective got me here to be able to just speak transparently with all my peers over here that are watching. So it's all about authenticity and being true, right, to where we stand. And yes, with that, my secondary school, wow, it's the same thing. I'm a president. I was in the club creative, then I was like literally club alam, means I always love to help. I would plant everything in the school. I would always paint for school, I would draw everything in the school. You name it, everything got to go to school, yes. And yes, because of Club Bimbingan Rakan Sebaya, we were sent, when I was 14 years old, I got privileged to go to UIA, okay? UST Islamic Antarabangsa, okay, in a very young age, to go to school and preach about Belia Benci Dada. Okay, so as I advocator about speaking about the danger about drugs. Whoa, this is even shit gets real, shit hits the fan right now. I'll talk this in another episode itself. How crazy, like for me being an advocate against drugs and being influenced into drugs because with the wrong set of friends influences. So there you go. It's very careful who you pick in your life and who you allow them to sit in the same table with you, because you never know that meal that you're swallowing, that's full of poison and venom. And that's what happened to me, right? So I'll talk that into another episode as well. There's so many series that I've been through in my life, major series that is going to happen. But why? Why do I want to do my podcast? I ask myself. I want to be different, obviously. I want to forge my own path. Like, you see, all of us are creators of our own life, right? We co-create with God, with the universe. But what do we really want to do? How do we want to be remembered? How do we want to be remembered to leave a legacy for our next generations itself, in order for them to imbue great qualities and values in their lives? And I felt like by me doing this podcast itself with Positive Thrive, Podcast with Sunshine, I'm able to forge my path. I'm able to create that identity for myself, not just myself, to others itself, to stay inspired, to remember itself in regardless, no matter how many people try to shoot you down. But let me just tell you that you are able to pick that bullet out again, and you are able to heal those scars and wounds again, and you'll come back stronger ever. You thrive back stronger ever. And that's what happened to me here, right? So, and why? Because I remember that I started this whole entire podcast, I did manifest about it, and great. I know a lot of people came over to me and started, oh, I want Sunshine, I want to do a podcast for you, I want to do a podcast. Yes, I went for a lot of meetings. I went to, I don't know how many accountants, about close to 5 accountants. I went for all the podcasts, and yes, I was actually been spotted by this other podcaster itself, and actually introduced by a friend itself who does all this hypnotherapy. It was a hypnotherapist, and there you go. My number was being passed over, and I was being contact, and there you go. I was like literally being the co-partner, so-called co-partner, and also the co-host for this specific podcast channel. I'm not going to name it. I'm not going to say it out. But what really upsets me, why am I doing my podcast here today? Just when I was in hermit mode, I hide myself. You know, there are times there's this term that I want to share with you today. Topic is about a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? What does it mean? It means like when someone tried to hide malicious intent under gleams or under a guise of kindness. They take your kindness as your weakness. And that was what happened to me. Really. I was really sad when that happened to me. Because I didn't see that. That will come, I always see the good in others. I always see the kind in others because I am born that way. God made me this way. Right? And then that's how we taught itself. It resides in us naturally in order for us, to just be who we are and just continue to serve in the community, just to be good and be kind to others, be compassionate to others. But when it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, then I went. I still remember, okay, great, we have a few meetings. And after that, he told me that come over to Puchong. I'll take you to my office. Guess what? I find it quite weird. I was walking up, this does not look like an office. It looks like in a condo. But yes, because I know I stay and live in my office. So meaning that I thought maybe it was the same for him too. But no. He brought me into his home. And let me just tell you this. This was something that unexpectedly, okay? I have been surviving and I have been living through my traumas itself. Been harassed by so many men. So many to be began with, and it has caused like scars in my heart, but I would say that the Almighty has helped me to cure myself. And just when in the midst of my healing, this man tries to stir up again as being a wolf in sheep's clothing. Let me just tell you that. He asked me to sit down on his couch, and I say, no, listen, I don't want to be here. I'm not comfortable with it. Can we leave? And he said, no, let's sit down. Let me make you a cup of tea. And I was so even scared to drink the cup of tea because I was scared that he would spike me. So I hold that warm cup of tea. And then here comes, because I was wearing quite like a V-shape, right, outfit. And I was having a bit of like skin, like panau on my skin, on my chest. And he looks and he starts using his finger and he starts stroking around my chest and say that I can heal you. I can heal you. Let me hypnotize you. I was like, no, why would you want to hypnotize me? He was trying to manipulate me and he thought I was literally a very vulnerable girl, but he forgot that I've been through so much in my life that the fact that it was not easy for me to tame. You can't tame a dragon anymore. She's not a little dragon in the cave, darling. Let me just tell you that. And he started stroking and say, look into my eyes. He's trying to hypnotize me. And this is where I freaked out. My heart was skipping so fast, and there was this bag in my ears that said, Sunshine, run. I was scared that I was going to be raped over there. Let me just tell you that. That was what happened to me. Imagine a meeting with your so-called partner, right? So I got up and I put down the tea, throw it up, flipped out, and I say, I'm going to flip here right now. I'm going to scream. If you touch me and do anything to me, I'm going to scream so loud right now. Leave me and let me get out from this house now. I want to get out from the house, say. And you know what? I was like, no. It's okay. Where are you going? I said, no. Let me go before I go crazy. I was running out to his gate and his keys was not there. I said, pass me the keys. I want to open the gate. He passed me the keys and opened the gate. I was walking out really fast and it was chasing me right back and said, no, I don't want it to be ended up like this. I said, you know what? You are very manipulative, man. You are crazy. I say, this is very wrong for you to just take me as a whipping because of your own desires. I want to go home right now. I say that. And I say, don't worry, I'll find myself a grab home. And he insists to send me back. But with all that console, He sent me back and we never have a word, even as much as he was apologizing in the car. I sat so close out, to the car door. I was, and I was, anytime of the day, if anything he tries, I would jump up from the door. I was ready to save myself. And that's part of thriving, right? And it was betrayal. I felt betrayed. There you go, a wolf in sheep's clothing. And not just that, believe it or not, I blocked him everywhere, and then I forgot to block him on Instagram, and then apologies came in, and I'm such an empath. Believe it or not, I still have that audacity to forgive someone who've done that to me, and I still carry on. I still went on and carry on for a few more series with him, help him up, bring him to all these posh events itself to build out that podcast of his, not even mine, that is so-called been co-host. Okay, no, he was utilizing on my platforms, on my contacts. I brought in celebrity stars because I say, no, you can't use non-people. I was started giving ideas, even helping him to start speaking better and more confidence. But do you think it's right for someone to do that to you when they say that, hey, I want to be a good co-partner for you? And regardless, yes, I was getting paid for that, maybe per episode 500. That was it. So what? But it cost me. It cost me my pride. It cost me my dignity. It cost me my safetyness. It forgot that a man should make a woman feel safe and a woman should make a man feel safe too. But he never made me feel safe for the first time. Right? I won't bring out the specific person name, but I felt this person was really a narcissist, seriously. Constantly, I was being attacked even though we're not as an item, right? So after all that happened, previously we have like 2 times meet up. Yeah, okay, got to know, went out a few times. Yeah, it was quite sweet. In general, my nature, I'm a sweet person, right? But then, there you go. I just felt something not right. I was giving myself a chance to know man again. But then I got to know that this man is something not right about him. Whatever he say is against his word. He does not speak what he preach. He does not practice what he preach. He's not a man of his own words. And whatever of his actions itself, when I come back and pray, God was telling me, Sunshine, don't get yourself trapped again. You got caught up in the spider web right now. This guy's a spider. You're in his web. Do you want to be his bait? Then I was like, whoa, snap out. Whew. There's so much of emotions when I talk about it because I was being deceived, right, for my kindness again. So I just want to tell every one of you out there today, the topic of a wolf in sheep's clothing. There are times I believe that you, not just me, you out there have experienced this. Someone have said something and do otherwise. Or someone has pretend to be someone and be otherwise. Right? It's kind of scary though. Let me just tell you that. It's freaky. It's freaky because you do not know how can one man can be such an act so immoral to another soul. In their hate itself, all they do is just something that is deceitful and they want to act in malice and they want to trap you to be in their little trap and be your mini game itself, and attack you and make sure that they tear you down. But no, if you ever come across anyone who's a wolf in sheep's clothing, let me just tell you that, honey. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to step for your rights, to speak your rights. Because I used to be afraid and I used to be trapped countless times. I've been battered many times. Many times I've been battered, but God is good. God gave me another life to survive, to keep thriving, thrive. I want you today itself to those out there, victims, that it does not matter, sexual abuse, or you have been like domestic violence abuse, or you have been terrorized itself, for your purities, and you feel like, oh, there's impurities in me itself. You have been raped, or you have been like literally been sold. Listen, you have the rights to speak up for your rights. You have the rights to speak your truth and set yourself free from being a prisoner to others that tries to harm and hurt you. Do not allow anyone who acts a wolf in a sheep's clothing to tear your life apart. That was what happened to me for years in countless domestic karmic soul contract relationships. And I realized that I'm proudly 3 years single right now. The right one will come. God would say the right one will come. But here, do not allowed them to terrorize your dreams. My dreams was robbed away from me because I love the idea of love. I love the fantasy of love. And love to me is something that I preach about, and I love it was part of my nature. But listen, the wrong love is not where it gets you. The wrong people is not where it gets you. A wolf in sheep's clothing comes in many different ways itself for them to make themselves feel superior more than you. And you should not allow that to happen anymore. You should not enable that to happen anymore. Okay? So this whole entire podcast for me, why it all started and began for me to be a solo independent podcast, because I finally recognized my God-given gifts. I could speak, I could connect, and I've always been a warrior, from a survivor to a warrior right now, and continues to thrive as this earth angel here. And I'm here to wanting to speak out. If anything happens to you right now, please, like this, report, okay, to the authorities itself. Do not allow anyone, to the specific authorities, do not allow anyone to take advantage on your kindness. That's what happened to me. And that's why this whole podcast appeared. There was a lot of prayers and meditations to get me where I am here. And I was contemplating what should I speak, before I start out this. And I thought that I would run out of words, I never have any ways to share. But here I am sharing how my childhood all begins for me to have this thriving confidence in me, to have this thriving spirit in me, to have this thriving of righteousness in me. And I choose to do and speak and act everything in truth and in righteousness and nothing that's less here right now. So yes, thank you so much once again for tuning in over here to Positive Thrive podcast with Sunshine. And today it's just that I want to highlight a wolf in sheep's clothing comes in many faces itself. And do not allow yourself to rot in their, in their presence. Do not. Be in the right presence. Be in your strong presence. Be in the divine presence. If you believe, if those atheists, if you don't, stand strong for yourself. Speak up for your rights. Your voice matters over here. So thank you so much for joining me here back at Positive Thrive podcast with Sunshine. Please do follow me on my YouTube, Sunshine Eileen Davy. You'll find me there, my full name, and also for my Instagram itself, Positive Thrive podcast with Sunshine. My Facebook, join me on my community in order for you to come and be that voice for you to speak out your truth and start sharing. And do not fret right now. Do not run and do not be fear. Allow yourself to guide and be walk in faith, okay, but not walk by sight there. So I am signing out right now over here. Thank you for listening to my entire journey for the first episodes. Until then, I will see you soon for the next episode. Bye. Lots of love and light.